Hello friends, this is Dr. Ranjan Gadai. I am associated with the Department of Mechanical Engineering of Sikkim Manipal Institute of Technology, Sikkim. Today I will discuss on the topic literature review. Basically, this is a very vital topic for any researcher who will start the research without this literature review. It is very tough to complete the research. Starting with the introduction, some general truths. Basically, uh, those who are doing the research, if they are thinking that I can do the research without taking the help of others, that is not correct completely, because research may be done alone. You can do the research alone, that's fine, but it is never done with isolation, means without consulting anyone, without consulting the knowledge of anyone, you cannot do the research. So the production of a new knowledge is fundamentally depend on the past knowledge. Whatever topic you'll choose, basically it must be related with the previous work related to your area. Until and unless you not study the previous work related to that particular area, you cannot proceed further. That's why it's a statement given by Wilson. uh, I not only use all the brain that I have, but all that I can borrow. And the literature is basically, if you define literature, it is basically the collection of all the scholarly writing on a particular topic. That is basically called as literature. Now, what is a literature review? How will define literature review? Literature review is a written summary of journal, articles, books, and other documents that describe the past and current state of information on a particular topic of the research study. It is also defined as this literature review. You can also define as a systematic method for identifying, evaluating, and interpreting the work produced by the other researchers, scholars. That's why before going to start of any topic, before going to start to decide that topic of your research, you should go through some previous work related to the area of your research. That's why the literature review, it can be also defined as yeah, it is also, it is actually the reading of work of others before commencing on your own work or on your own research work. That is basically called as your literature review. Now, why literature review is important? Why people do the literature survey, a literature review? The first thing is just to improve your understanding. Means how much knowledge you have related to that area. That is that that will only observe from the literature review. Next, yeah, you can enhance that one. If you have a little knowledge about that area and you are doing the literature review, definitely your depth of knowledge will increase. Also, to build your expertise in the field, in the specific field. Suppose you have chosen a topic, that means it is not necessarily that that topic will be completely new. Some people might have worked on that particular topic, and you'll have to analyze their work, what they have done. If you're analyzing, suppose 10, 15, 20 people's work of a particular topic, in that case, you will be expertise on that particular topic. So due to the literature review, you can build your expertise in a particular topic. And to demonstrate your knowledge, means whatever knowledge you have related to that area, that you can demonstrate. Or once you are doing once you're studying the once you are reading the article of others, in that case you are gaining some knowledge, and that knowledge you can demonstrate in the literature review part to update the reader in the state of art. Definitely, see, suppose I someone has worked on a particular topic in the area of 2000, so in the year of 2010, yeah, 2012. Now again he is interested to that area on 2020. Directly, if you'll start from that work which he had done in 2010, and and from that he will start his work in 2020. In that case, the research will not be fruitful. So continuously you will have to follow the other people's work related to that particular area, by which what will happen, you can update your idea regarding that particular area. Means uh, you had the people, those who are working in the particular area, uh, how much updation has happened into that particular area, that we'll find out in the later regime. Now, the last one is to do a better research. If you are doing a literature review properly, definitely your research will be definitely better, because you will be up to date to that particular area. If you will be up to date to the particular area, then you can start a new thinking. Means up to 2020, this month, this work has done by the scientific community throughout the world. Now, how I can develop, yeah, how I can progress that work, that you will only get once you do the literature review. That's why it is very vital for any kind of researcher, yeah, any kind of graduate student, postgraduate student, PhD student. It is very vital. Now, the sources where research and information is published means where you will collect that information. Yeah, suppose you are doing a research, where it will publish. First is textbook, from where you get the idea. Basic concept you can get from the textbook. Next is the articles or journals. That is very vital. The people, those who are working in a particular area, they always try to publish their work, and they always try to uh, you know yeah, just communicate that work to the scientific community. If it is accepted, definitely it will be published. So articles or journals, that is very vital, that you can follow. Thesis thesis is basically it is the work of some graduate student, some postgraduate student, some PhD student. You can follow their work also. In some university, you will find that their work has been work will be kept in the university site. You can go there and you can download their work, and you can follow their work. These are the thesis. Next is government publication. Those who are doing the statistical kind of work, in that case, they can follow the government datas. So for example, suppose those who are working in MCDM area, multi-criteria decision making, statistics. If they want some data, in that case, they can follow the data provided by the government. For example, this NIRF ranking. The NIRF ranking, that generally they give the ranking by following certain criteria. Now, if someone worked on that particular data in his research work, in that case, he can take the data from the government publication. In some time they can collect the data from the professional publications also. Next is conference paper. Conference is a particular. It is a play, your get to, you can call it, it's a conference, a congress where new idea and new innovation are generally discussed, and some of the articles, those articles were present in the conference, that generally presented in the conference paper. In that case, people can follow the conference paper also. Then monographs and also statistics data, people can follow. Next is type of literature. Basically, if you broadly classify the literature, it is of three types: primary literature, secondary, and tertiary literature. What is it? Primary literature. Primary literature is basically, it's a original work or new scientific discoveries. Basically, the work which has been published in the particular peer-reviewed journal. That is basically called as a primary literature. Means suppose in 2020 people are working in a particular area. After completion of their work, generally they communicate to the uh, mm, journals, yeah, publishers, and it generally peer reviewed by the expertise of that particular area. If they satisfied with that work, then they accept that particular work and it get published. So in that, if you are following that one, that is called as your primary literature, and that works are generally primary literature. Next is secondary literature. It is basically the summarizes and synthesizes of primary literature. There are some books, literature review articles that are called as a secondary literature. What is literature review articles? Yeah, that is also called as the review articles. If in a particular area, suppose 100 people they have worked in that area, and someone he what he decide, if he decide to take the work of each and individual articles of that particular area, and you want to present all this work in a particular paper, that is called as the review article, a literature review article. In that case, those who wants to follow that article, what will happen, from a single article, a single paper, you'll get the basic, yes, the main knowledge of that 100 paper which that particular person has followed. That is called as the secondary literature. What is a tertiary literature? Tertiary literature is if people are following the data from a textbook, a dictionaries, that is called as the tertiary literature. So basically, people, yeah, it is always advisable to use the primary literature and secondary literature. Primary literature is very vital. At the same time, you can follow the secondary literature. Next is the process of literature review. This is the particular diagram which has been given out here. Seven basic steps of literature review. The first one is identify a question. Suppose uh, you want to do the research of a particular topic. First, you will have to put the question what you want to do. You have, what will be the area of research? That's the first question you'll have to ask to yourself. Identify your question. Then review the discipline style. Means that question you will have to review by searching from the internet, yeah, searching from the articles. Now search this literature, that discipline, yeah, that particular area you will have to search in the internet, and you will find the data. Now next is for this manage your reference. Means suppose you have downloaded some papers, now you will have to uh, save that papers, and you will have to make one data set where all these references would be there. Means from where that paper you have downloaded, and also at the same time which paper, the name of the authors, the paper name, the publisher, when it published, what is the volume of the paper, and what is the pages of the paper, that everything you have to write. Then critically analyze and evaluate. Once you manage all the reference, now you'll have to critically analyze all these articles which you have downloaded, which you have kept. Means if you have downloaded 50 number of paper related to area, from that 50 you'll have to at least 20-30 paper, you have to critically review that paper, you have to critically read that paper, and you'll have to extract the knowledge related to your area. Now is synthesizes. Means you have to combine your the different papers knowledge which you have got from your reading, that is basically called as your synthesizes. Now write the review. After synthesizes, then you will have to write the review of all the paper which you have followed or which you have downloaded. This is basically the seven basic step of literature review. Now, the quality of source means where you will find that your knowledge, yeah, where you will get that particular paper from which, what are the sources you will have to follow while doing the literature survey. Now, it has been broadly classified under three domain. One is language domain, geographical domain, and scientific domain. This language domain, it is basically not for the people those who do their research in English. As in India, we follow English as an official language. So for us, it's not a big problem. But the person, those who are from France, Japan, some Arabic country, China, in that case, they generally follow the work which has been written in Chinese or Japanese or French or German language. In that case, it will be a problem for them. So at least you'll have to maintain that. You have to search the paper from all the domain. Means you have to consider the paper from English, the journal which publish the English literature paper. Yeah, the English writing paper, basically, not literature, English writing paper. For us it is not a very big deal because we generally follow the article those who are written in English, because our official language is English. So for us it's okay, fine. Now next is geographical domain. Means suppose those who are doing some statistical analysis. In that case, if you will follow the paper of your own area, in that case it will be a problem for you. So you have to give focus of the paper from all this domain, means all the area of the work. You have to see the paper from the other country, other region. Suppose we are in India, if you will think that we will not follow the paper from Japan and all, so it will be a problem for us. It's a scientific community, everyone is doing the work related to a particular area. If you want to update yourself, you have to be give focus to all this domain, means language domain, geographical domain and all. The last one is the scientific domain. It is very important. Scientific domain means what are the things which you'll have to follow while doing the literature survey. Basically, it has been broadly classified into two parts. One is strong and weak. Means this weak we should not follow, and this strong part will have to follow. What is the strong part? If you are doing the literature review, if you are reading the paper, you have to give focus to the journal paper, a peer reviewed journal paper, not journal paper. Basically, lot of journal paper you will get which are not peer reviewed. So always you'll have to follow the journal of peer reviewed one. Or you can also follow the indexing journal, means Science Citation Index, SCI, or Scopus Index Journal. Also you can follow the conference proceeding, dissertation, thesis, and professional magazines, government data you can follow. These are the strong documents. Means there are some certain proofs are there. If you are following that one, so that is basically it will be considered to be valid one. So what are the weak one? Some people when they start their literature, they generally follow. Basically, I'm talking about the people of undergraduate student, yes, postgraduate student. The starting level, they see the Wikipedia. From Wikipedia, you can get some knowledge. That is fine, but you cannot put that knowledge in your article because that is not so much authentic. So always try to follow the strong domain of science, the strong scientific domain. You should not follow the non-peer reviewed journal and non-recorded conversation. Basically, some paper you will find, these are not peer reviewed paid journal. Basically, not all paid journals are bad, but some journals are there. They are not they are not indexed with some. Yeah, they are not good indexing journal. In that case, you should not follow this non-peer review journal. That means these papers are not been purely reviewed. That's why it has no such significance. In non-recorded conversion, what happens if two people are talking with each other and they told that this kind of work happens in that way? If verbally they are telling, and if you by keeping that word in your mind, if you're writing in the article, if you're writing as a literature review, that will not be considered to be a valid one. So while doing the literature review, quality of sources is very important. Next is review. How will start the review process? First, first thing is that suppose you have 20, 30 number of paper which are related to your area. In that case, from that 20 paper, first you will have to find out the major concept. what are the major concept of that article. Next snapshot, that major concept will have to write somewhere else. Yeah, these the things, this is the concept I'm getting from that article. Next is relationship, means you will have to analyze that particular paper or the concept which you found from that article. Now classification means on which basis you will classify that particular article. That is also very important. Next is extraction, that idea you will have to extract from that particular paper, and you will have to accumulate that one. Now last is update, means uh, while doing the literature review, you'll you'll do the extraction from all this paper, and that you will have to accumulate some place, and that you will have to update also. Because suppose today you are doing a literature, and for next 2 months, suppose you didn't do anything, then after the next 2 months again you will have to update the work related to that particular 2 month, means what the work has done in that particular period of time, that you will have to update. Now the next question is, does the proposal advance the state of art and introduce an innovative approach? Now, what is basically innovation? Innovation is be intended as the creation and development of new and developed concept, product, process, service, and technologies that are made available to market, government, and society. Means, suppose you thought about a particular topic. Yeah, this is the topic I'll do. Now the main concern is that whether the topic will be the advanced one. Yeah, that that topic will be that will be helpful for the society or not. That you have to see also. What is the novelty of the topic which you have chosen, means whether the people from the scientific community, whether they have already worked on that particular topic or not. That you will have to also think while doing the literature survey. If the proposals show a good understanding of major work in the topic, that also you have to find out. Means whatever proposal or whatever topic you are deciding, it must show a good understanding of a major work in that any topic. Next is identify any gap in the existing knowledge. Means suppose some people, they work in a particular area, and you want to uh, do that do your work from that particular area. Now the main thing is that whether you will do the same kind of work which they have done, or what new you will do, yeah, what new you will add in that work. That is very important. Means if someone has done the work in that particular area, you will have to find out the gap. Means this much thing he has done, what are the things he has not done, that also you have to find out. That is basically called as identifying the gap. Next is, what is currently available in your country and worldwide. This point is valid. Suppose you are writing your project proposal. Yeah, you are writing any proposal to an agency. In that case, what happens? Some works generally, some other countries people, they have started the work, but in our country, suppose that work has not been started. That thing you will have to uh, uh, write in that. Means this work has been started in in some area, but in our country, in India, this work has not been started. Yeah, one two people, they have started in that area, so I want to just I want to enhance that. I want to uh, continue that work, by which these benefits will get. That you'll have to mention, and that you should find out from this literature survey. Then capture the major concept and ideas related to your research. Major concept and ideas related to your research, that also you'll have to note down somewhere else. What is the major concept of your idea, of your work? That is also very vital. Now the last one is, how is the research which you are doing compare with the similar research in the world? Because in a particular area, you will find throughout the scientific community a lot of people will be doing in that work, but how your work is different as compared to the other people who are doing in that particular area, that is also very vital. That you will have to mention. Otherwise it will be considered to be similar kind of work. People will not give focus to your work, because if someone has already done that similar work, so what is the need of doing the same work? So always your work must be different from the others on that particular area. Now next is literature survey list. How will do the literature survey? How, basically, uh, how will proceed the literature survey? Analyze rapidly all publication you found. Suppose you have searched the literature, then you found a lot of articles related to area, then you can find the keyword. Now thing is that, uh, suppose you have downloaded, yeah, you collected 50 number of paper, it is a 100 number of paper. It is not necessary to read all these 100 number of papers. Now you will have to classify this 100 number of paper into number of segment. In this way you can divide that work. One will be important, otherwise non-important, and the other one will be average. Important means if it is uh, completely related to your area, in that case you can make that paper into the important list. How will search this one? I'm showing uh, this searching of the article through Google Scholar, and how you can tell that this one will be important work, this one will be non-important one, and which one will be the average one. I'm just showing through the Google Scholar. Basically, Google Scholar is a platform where people they search their work by using some keyword or some phrase, and you will get a lot of papers related to your area. I'm just doing this one. Suppose I want to search a work related to just consider this is thin film coating. You'll find a lot of thin film coating. This is basically the keyword, thin film coating work. And out of that, which thin film coating work you will have to follow, that you will have to find from this cited by 320. Means suppose you just specify a particular thin film coating. Suppose DLC thin film coating, it's a generally it's a thin film, hard thin film coating. Now see, a lot of people they have worked in DLC thin film coating. Now whenever you are doing the literature survey, try to do the literature survey of literature survey of the year 2015-16, like that. If you will follow the old literature of that particular area, in that case it will not be useful for you. So in that case you can put in this way: since 2016, now it will show all this paper which are published after after 2016. Now a lot of articles you will find. Which articles you will be considered as an important one, which articles you will have to consider as a non-important one. See, the cited by 344, cited by 89, cited by 140. If this work are related to this topic, here I have considered this DLC putting as a topic. You can consider any topic, you will find the lot of paper related to that particular topic. Now as this quoting, this particular work has been cited by 140, here it is 344. In that case you can consider this work as this one as the important one. Or else it is not necessarily that all non-cited paper, yeah, very less cited paper are not so much important. You can follow that one also, but from this you can classify your literature into different segment. Now basically, yeah, just a minute. Yes. Now this why I have classified into three different segment. One is important, non-important, and average. Because whenever we download the paper, yeah, whenever we collect the paper, 100 number paper we are collecting, it is not possible to go through all these 100 or 200 number of paper. So out of this 100 or 200, you will have to uh, classify on the basis of their importance and the, how it is related to your topic. So in that case, you can make a table and references. Eh, you will have to arrange. You will have to, add the reference of that particular work in the table, by which what will happen, whenever you want to search that particular paper, you will directly copy the reference. You'll find, you'll put in the Google Scholar, directly you will get that paper. So in that way, you can divide your work into number of parts, like important, non-important, average. Average means, whenever it is necessary you may read, but it is not necessarily to, you'll have to read that one. Just important paper you'll have to read, that is for sure. And this non-important, you are not going to read this non-important one. Average you may read and you may not read. Next is literature review matrix, means how you will arrange your literature. Yeah, how you will do the literature. The main point of this analysis is to summarize the article you read. And always try to arrange the literature in a tabular format. And this is the standard tabular format which I have given out here. These are the 6 things you'll have to add on the table while uh, doing the literature review. First one is the number, second one the reference, then the study parameters on what the article is based, then the focus, gap, and finding. These are the things you'll have to arrange. You will have to make a table, and you have to write this thing about each and every article which you have downloaded. Now I'm just going to the next slide. See, this is the serial number, reference, study parameter, focus, finding, and gap. Suppose, just we're going to this again, this Google Scholar. Now suppose here this DLC thin film coating. Suppose you found that this article is very important. This topic may be different. Here I have given the example of DLC thin film coating. You can take any kind of topic, any kind of topic. Now, according to the slide, the first one is the serial number, then references. Suppose you want to follow this article, the references, just click out here. There are a number of format for writing the references. You can consider any format, and you can just copy this one, and directly you can put out here. Now next is just a minute, it is the current slide. Yeah, now next is study parameter, means on which basis that article is based. What are the importance of that article? On which parameter the article has been based, that you'll have to write in the study parameter. And this thing may vary depending upon your research area. Those who have statistics, in that case you can write some other things. Those who have an experimental one, you can write other thing. Those who are a numerical one, you can write other thing. Now focus of the article, that is very vital. That will be, this thing will be everywhere for any kind of article. What is the main focus of that particular article, that you will have to write out here. Next is finding. What is the importance finding of that article? That is very important, because if you will not find, if you will not get the important finding, in that case you cannot proceed for your literature survey. That's why important finding is very important. Yeah, these are the things has been calculated, has been analyzed in that particular paper. Now you'll have to find out the gap in that particular area. People have worked in that particular area, that is fine. It is not necessarily that all scientific articles are completed, means whatever they have done, after that you cannot go, yeah, you cannot go beyond to that article. Always there will be some gap, and that gap you will have to find out, and on the basis of the gap you will have to proceed. You will have to work, you will have to choose your topic on that particular gap. That's why in this way, suppose you have downloaded 100 number of papers, you will have to arrange 100 number of papers in that particular fashion. Now next is a literature review analysis. How will analyze the literature review? In that, two things are there. One is Organizing techniques and pattern. The other one is write the literature review analysis. How you will arrange that literature review which you have done. Suppose you have followed 30 number of papers, you have 40 number of papers. How you will arrange that 40 number of papers, that is also vital. Generally, we arrange chronologically, means uh, the we generally arrange on the date of, on the basis of the date of publication, a year of publication. If three papers has been published in 2020, in that case we can arrange that one on chronological, means date of publication. Or suppose you have followed 30 papers, and one paper from 2020, one paper from 2019, one paper from 2018. In this way you have to follow the paper. So always the first one, generally what happens, either you can consider in the ascending order or descending order. Either you can make the number one as the new paper, a new published paper, or the old published paper. In that way you can follow. Generally that is the standard one people they follow. Next, in this way also people follow advancement of technology, means suppose you have downloaded some papers. In that case, which topics are, means on the basis of the technology classification, you can arrange the arrange the uh, review of the papers. Next is weakness or strength. If out of the 30 or 50 some paper that depicts the weakness of that particular work, and some paper they analyzes the strong strength of that particular area, a particular work. In that case you can classify on the basis of that. In the statistical work, what happens, geographical classification, means suppose some work they have done, it has been done in Europe, some work it has been done in North America, in South America. On the basis of that people also they classify. Also question, means suppose related to your work you are putting a question, no, this is the thing I'll have to find out from the literature, and on the basis of that you can organize your literature. Next is write the literature review analysis. How will write the literature review? First thing is summarize the sources and provide transitional connection between each group of references. Now highlight the past research accomplishment, means what are the what are the work which has been done in the past, that you'll have to highlight. Now evaluate the weakness and the gap of the previous work. That is very vital, because on the basis of the gap only you can choose your topic of your research. Otherwise it will be a similar kind of work. If you are following 10 articles and you are going according to that only, they have done this and I will do that thing only, so that will not be a correct one. Yeah, that will be kind of plagiarism. Same kind of work you are doing. Basically, while doing the literature review, that is very vital to find out the weakness and the gap of the previous research. Whatever work the people, the researchers have done previously, from that you will have to find out the research gap of your work. Now, on the basis of the research gap, you'll have to set your objectives of your work. Next is connect the review analysis with your research. Definitely, from that review analysis, suppose you completed the review analysis and you got this the research gap or from that review articles. Now, from these articles which you have followed, now from that you will have to find out your research work and you have to set your objective from that work only. Now, these are the some golden rules you'll have to follow while doing the literature review. First is report the status and accomplishment of the previous researchers. While doing the literature review, always you'll have to uh, report the work of the previous researchers. If you are mentioning something, if you are following someone's work, you have to give credit to them. You have to cite them. Yeah, from this author. Yeah, these are the authors. They have the one related to this. That you will have to mention while doing the literature review. Next is evaluate the weakness of the previous researchers. That is also very vital, because no researchers, no mm, uh, research community, yeah, you can call as no one is completely perfect while doing the research. Definitely, you will find a gap from any article. You will definitely find, and that will be your objective of your work. Then group articles are together based on the certain criteria. Means you can group the articles, whatever articles you have downloaded and whatever articles you have reviewed, that you will have to classify and that you will have to segregate on a particular reason, either on the basis of technology, on the basis of in the question which you are coming, strength and weakness of the articles, you will have to classify that one. Next is provide a critical thinking. Means from that work, what uh, uh, idea, yeah, what innovation you are getting from the literature, yeah, by doing the literature review, by following the work of the authors which already they have done and they have published their articles. Next is link the review with what you want to do for your research. That is also vital. Link the review means the review which you have done, that you'll have to link with your work, your objective of your research work, that you'll have to link. Means, yeah, these are the authors, they have done the work related to this topic and they have not done these things, and that will be your research. Yeah, that will be your objective of your research. So this is all about the basically this is all about the literature review. Now we'll go to the review articles. Yeah, if you understood how to do the literature review, that is fine. Now the other thing is that uh, the two kind of articles are there already while classifying the reviews. One is primary, secondary, and tertiary. The primary one and the secondary one. Primary is the, it's a own work, yeah, it's a new work which the people are doing. That is the primary one. Yeah, the which the individual authors or individual group they do and they publish in the particular journal. Now review article is basically, it is basically the work of others, and that work you are presenting. The yeah, you can also call that review article is basically uh, presenting a number of work, yeah, a hundred number of work at some significant amount of work in a particular paper. That is basically the review article that we'll discuss. What is a review article? Review article is it's a critical constructive analysis of literature in a specific field through summary, classification, analysis, and comparison. That is basically called as the review article. Means review article is basically how we will denote that one. It is a text that contain the summary of scholarly research on a particular topic. Also, it can be regarded as a summary or evaluation of someone else writing. Means someone has done the work, and that work you are writing in your own word, and you are presenting in a paper. That is basically called as the review article. New data from the author's experiments are not presented. Generally, what happens is while writing a review article, people generally do not put any new work while writing a review article. But some special cases are there. You can put some of the new work, that is okay, fine. But generally, review article is the uh, collection of ideas from different authors in a particular topic. It is a concise review of a specific topic that provides sufficient in-depth interpretation and synthesis of published work. Means uh, how it will be beneficial. I'm giving one example. Suppose I want to work on a particular topic, like you can consider this a supply chain management. Suppose I want to do work related to the supply chain management. While doing the literature review, in that case, I'll have to download a lot of paper which has been work related to the supply chain management. Then I have to read each and every work. Now, how this review article will be important? Yeah, it will be helpful. Instead of following all this 15, yeah, sorry, 50, 100 number of papers, if that 100 number of paper has been followed by some authors, in that case, you can directly follow that review article where you will get the basic idea of that 100 number of papers, which will be a time saving for you. That's why generally if you see the citation, the review article citation is very high. And the review article is basically it is about telling a story, kind of chain story, where each writer starts with a partial story created previously by others and expand on it. The existing literature is story super. Now, why is review paper is very popular? What is the why? What is the the popularity of this review article? Because it provides an extensive view of previously published literature and to put them into perspective. It also offers the critical evaluation of the published research article. It also create an understanding of the topic. Definitely, if you are writing a review article of a particular topic, what will happen? The the author who is writing that review article, he has to collect the recent published paper, yeah, at least 10 years or 15 years published paper of that particular area, and he has to write, he has to consider the main concept, yeah, main focus of each article, and he has to present on that particular review article. Now, uh, from that, very easily you can identify the gap. Means yes, 100 number of papers has been written in an article, and from that you can easily analyze your gap. It also provide a new approach that would stimulate further research. It due to this review article, one perspective of approach you'll find which will stimulate for doing the further research. Now, what is the function of a review article? Means what is the main importance of a review articles? To organize the literature, means the literature, yeah, collection of all this yeah, data, yeah, yeah, it's a, you can say that, uh, mention the work of other people in an organized way. To evaluate the literature, means if you are if a review article is there, from there you can easily evaluate. Suppose someone is writing a review article of a number of papers. In that case, he is following that number of papers, and from all this number of papers he can get a conclusion. That means from 100 number of papers, a 200 number of papers, one conclusion he is getting. That is to evaluate the 100 literature, it will be easy by using a review article. Next is to identify the pattern and trend in the literature. That is also very vital. To synthesize the literature, means through the review article you can synthesize, you can connect all these reviews of papers which you have followed. To identify the research gap and recommend a new research area. That is very vital, because while going through 100 number of articles, it will be very tedious job. That's why if you are following a review article, yeah, if you are writing a review article, then that review article will be very much helpful for the people who will work on that area next to you. Suppose in 2020 you are you have chosen a particular topic and you are writing a review article, and you have published the review article in a good journal. In that case, the people who, yeah, the researchers who will work on the particular area, if you directly download your article and you will go through that, you will get an in-depth knowledge. It's a main concept of that number of article which you have followed while doing the literature review, while writing the review article. Now, before deciding a review, before deciding to write a review paper, these are the three things you have to ask to yourself. First thing is whether you have a sufficient knowledge regarding that topic. That is very vital, because what happens in some guide, what they told, whenever you start doing research about a particular topic, they tell that you go and you uh, try to write a review article. But I would suggest that don't do that. First, you try to acquire the knowledge related to that particular area. Once you get the knowledge, then only you can easily write the review article of that particular area. So before writing the review article, first you'll have to think to yourself whether I have sufficient knowledge regarding the area. That is very vital. Next is which journal you will communicate by doing the review. Means suppose you are writing a review article and you will complete within a particular tenure of time. Now next thing is that where you will communicate, because a lot of yes, some journals are there, they do not consider the review articles, and a lot of good journals are there, they consider review articles. Now whether your review article will be suitable to them or not, that also you'll have to find out from their from their your research articles published in the particular by the particular journal. That also very vital where you want to communicate that review article. Now would it be considered at all, means you'll have to uh, think that whether that article will be considered by that journal, means by the editor. That is also vital. How long is a review article, means what is the length of the review article. If you compare the length of a review article with a general articles, generally the length of a review article will be definitely more, because in a review article we generally present the work of others. Means if it will be, if you want to communicate that article to a good journal, in that case at least you'll have to find out the recent work, yeah, at least 10 to 15 years work related to that particular area. uh, there are a number of review articles which has been already published, 200, 300 literature they do, and they publish in a good journal. And the other thing is that generally it's not a fixed range, but generally in general it is in between 8,000 to 40,000 word, and the systematic review are usually shorter with less than here 10,000 words. Now, preparing a review article in 18 steps. These are the different steps you will have to follow while doing the while writing the review article. First is you'll have to choose a topic. How to choose the topic? Generally, uh, you'll find that the heading at the topic of the review article is generally a smaller one. Narrow the topic. Always, it's advisable to narrow the topic. Define a few research question or hypothesis. Next is search for literature sources, refine topic and research questions during the search. Read, evaluate, classify, and make notes. That is very important. Means how you will represent that, your this literatures. That is very vital. Means you will have to represent in a such a way that the reader who will follow your article, they will easily understand that one. Until and unless if they will not easily understand, in that case it is very tough, it will be very tough for you to publish the paper in a good journal. Because whenever you send the send the review article to a journal, that editor or the reviewer, they will see the structure of your review article, means how you have classified the content. That is very important. Next is redefine the focus and research question. Define the take home message that you'll have to, what are the focus of the particular article, that you'll have to think while preparing the review articles. Next, compose a preliminary title. Means the title must be short, but what will be the title that you will have to write at the starting. Uh, while doing the latest survey, what topic I'll give as a title to the particular article which I'm writing. That is also very vital, and you'll have to give precisely a short topic. Try to give a short topic to the review article. Next is find a structuring principle for the article. Means how you are arranging the articles. Either you are arranging on a chronological way, or subject matter, or experimental procedure. How you are structuring the article, that is very vital. Next is prepare an outline, find heading, for the section in the text body. Next is plan the content of each paragraph in the different section. Prepare the table, concept, maps, figures, and whenever you are citing, whenever you are collecting the data of other articles, in that case, you will have to give the citation of that particular article. Otherwise, it will be considered to be plagiarism. Now, preparing a review article, that 18 steps. That next is draft the method section. What are the method which has been, if in an article different method has been used, you can classify on the basis of method also. These are the method has been used. Who are the authors use the method one? Who are the author who has used the method two? Likewise, you can classify. Draft the body section, means properly. The body section means after this introduction part, this uh, result and all, which the people have already got. Yeah, the researchers have already got, that you have to uh, classify in a properly and draft properly. Next is draft the conclusion. What will be the conclusion? See, suppose you are following 100 number paper, and from that you are getting a finding, getting some finding, and you'll have to write a conclusion in your own word. Yeah, these are the things already done by the some number of authors, and from that you'll have to get one conclusion. You'll have to write in the conclusion. Draft the introduction properly, draft the abstract, because uh, unlike the primary research work, in a review article, you'll have to write about the work of others. In that case, precisely you have to write the abstract also. They revise the draft of different section, abstract and title, table, figures, and legends. Then they revise the citation and references, correct the grammar, spelling, and the punctuations, and adjust the layout. So, for any kind of review article, these are the 18 things you'll have to follow. And the main thing is that if you are writing a review article and you are following the work of other people, don't forget to give the citation and give the reference of that particular paper which you are following. Otherwise, it will be considered to be illegal. It will be considered to be a plagiarism one. Now, uh, I'll show you some two paragraphs. Out of the two paragraph, which one will be the legal one, which will be the illegal one, that I will have to show out here. See, just a minute. Yes, these are the two part, type one and type two. See, same writing, same thing has been written in type 1, and the same thing is it has been written in type 2. But if you see this 2 1, type 1 will be considered to be a correct one or legal one, because whatever things has been written out here, everywhere the reference has been given. Means, see, in in scientific writing a scientific article, while writing a scientific article, it is very important to give emphasis to other people's work, and uh, you have to cite them. Means, if you are taking the help of some other paper, then you'll have to give their citation, yeah, give their references at the particular point. Here I have given as one, two, likewise two, three, four, likewise it has been given. That means one in the reference part, one would be there, and in that particular reference part, it will be clearly written of that particular article, and that you will get from this Google Scholar. In this way, from this you will get, from this Google Scholar, either you can follow any kind of format, and you can put this format in the reference section. That is very vital. But in this type 2, nowhere this citations are there. In this case, see, just unlike this one here, this author's name has been written, author name and its group. Generally, while doing the literature survey, we put this ETAL. Basically, it means this author and his group used this technique and Minitab. Likewise, they have written, and they are following their work. Similarly, here also they have written the name of that particular paper, yeah, the first author's name, and they have written what they have done. while doing the literature survey, it is very vital to give the citation of the work which you are following. The second thing is, while doing the literature survey, uh, try to give as much as citation as possible, as much as you know. Uh, yes, if someone has done a work and you are following his work, it is advisable to keep the citation of that particular article. That's why if you compare in between these two, this will be a correct one, this is a legal one, this is a illegal one. And always this references in the reference section, this one would be the references for this statement from where you have got this data. Now next thing is this writing, it is not like that this writing you'll have to copy from that article, or you'll have to paste out here. That will be also illegal. You'll have to write the meaning of that thing which has been written in the reference one, and the sentence you'll have to change. If you are not changing the sentence, in that case it will not it will be considered to be plagiarism. It will be kept under plagiarism. If you check your article after completion of that through professional software like Turnitin, Authenticate, so plagiarism would be there. Means from there you will be easily understood that article which I am writing, it has been copied from some other article. Even though you are giving a citation, you'll have to change the sentence, you will change the writing format, then only the plagiarism can be reduced. So out of these two, this is the illegal one. Here no references are there, here references are there. Now this is all about this literature survey. Uh, this is very vital because literature survey is one of the most important thing for any kind of research work. If you are writing a thesis, if you are writing a research proposal, if you are writing a project proposal, if you are writing a PhD thesis, literature survey is very vital. Until and unless you not do the literature survey, you cannot proceed for your research work. So uh, it's literature review, you'll have to follow a proper format. On that particular format, you'll have to do the literature review and try to record all this data, all this paper which you are following while writing the review article also. That is very vital. Always try to give importance to the work which you are following while writing a review article or while doing a literature review. Okay, thank you very much.